Hello, hello, hello out there in Bartonella world. Just got out of the shower, so excuse the wretched appearance here. It seems like whenever I'm doing videos on this channel, either I don't feel good or I'm looking like this. Maybe you guys should go to my other YouTube channels, but here nor there. I came on today because I wanted to talk about something. Instead of always talking about the downside of the disease, I wanted to discuss some of the good points about it or some helpful things that I've learned along the way. One thing that I want to mention that I think is a must have for everybody that has any neurological condition whatsoever or even autism is a weighted blanket. You can get them at Walmart. Do your research on them. The first models of weighted blankets, I guess, were hot. The one that I have is actually cooling. Some of them, the beads tend to go to the outside after a while and so on. So check them out, research, see which ones you like, and definitely get it. If you're having a flare up where you feel jittery and stuff and you just feel like being confined, a weighted blanket is the way to go. So, outside of that, let's discuss some of the things that I've mentioned in all the videos and how I'm able to deal with each and every problem to get past it while it's temporarily there. Alright, so you guys know that back in December I was on a course of antibiotics for an infection, like a chest infection, whatever. And then I had gotten a flare up. And then I turned around and I had what I thought was COVID. I'm going to be getting tested here in the next few days to look for the antibodies because now the testing is available around here supposedly. And we'll see. But every symptom is what I had. So I'm thinking yes, but I could be wrong. Here nor there. So flare-ups, okay. As your flare-ups go on, at least with me in my case, it seems like they had gotten milder over the years. I don't know if that is just because I got used to feeling lousy, that I could handle them better, rather than somebody that just comes into a flare-up right away. My flare-ups, when I first got them, I had woke up one morning. You'll see in prior videos, hear me talk about it. I couldn't throw anything. I went to toss my dishcloth and it went way over here. I had to wear my glasses permanently, my reading glasses. Jeepers creepers. Let's see, what else did I experience? I had the leg dropping. I was extremely dizzy and off balance. That never goes away. Just numerous things. When I try to eat, I'd hit my face rather than make it in my mouth. One side of my face felt prickly, and with each flare-up every year that I got, it went down further and further until finally it made its way over to here. So that's how it started off. In my last flare-up, what I had was extreme dizziness, problems in the ears. Now, the ear problems started, I think it was with the last flare-up that I had prior to this one, which was a few years ago, and maybe one right before that. So maybe 3 flare-ups, herxes ago, is when the ears came into play. And there was a lot of pressure in there, and what I would do is I would take and put my finger in my ear and pull back or push forward, and it somehow relieved it, or I would get into a hot shower. But I found with the ear problem that taking ibuprofen does wonders. I still, to this day, not that I would ever tell anybody to start any kind of drug whatsoever, but I really think that the Xanax controlled the balance issues. I could easily come off it if it were not for the balance issues. Another thing I've heard is your seizure medicines are good for balance issues and stuff like that too. But I don't know if I would go that route, only because you don't really want to invoke having that. I know that we have like some sort of seizure thing. I don't know what kind it is, but a lot of us tend to have smaller ones where we just kind of zone out a little bit. Maybe flashes of light might cause it and stuff, but here nor there. I'm not against Xanax, provided that you keep yourself at a lower dose than what you are prescribed. And you always make sure that you back off a little bit less and less, and then when you need a full tablet or a half a tablet, you take it. My prescription is for 0.5, and they're peach-colored, football-shaped ones. And what I found is, instead of taking a full tablet a day, take a half a tablet. I've always taken a half a tablet, and I have been taking them for 3 years, and it helps tremendously with the anxiety that we experience with this whole thing. But I don't take a half a tablet every day. What I do is I take sometimes like a quarter of that, or half of a tablet, so a quarter of a pill, which means you break it in half and you bite it. And then if I'm feeling really lousy, I take a half a pill. So that way you're never going over like a half a pill, because my prescription's for a whole tablet in a day. So that is how I found to relieve a lot of the symptoms. I don't know why, it just seems to. So that is just one of the perks of, if you want to call it perks, of how I handle certain things. Ibuprofen is probably extremely essential to me. My stomach's probably not happy with me, but I've noticed any kind of full pressure in the head, it relieves it. When I had my flare-up, I was having pressure in my head continually. And when I get it, I really have to take my glasses off, which can sometimes be bothersome because you need to see for balance issues. So it was a little tough, but it wasn't anything like, back in like 2012 or even in 2015. And the reason for the flare-up, like I said in the last video, was my fever got up to 103.7. Holy crap, guys. That's the highest fever I've ever had. I know people that have had COVID have had higher fevers, but 103.7 is still extremely scary. Even 102.7, which it pretty much stayed at. And then it got down to like 101. So I didn't really have a break from December right up through until about April. Once April came around, I pretty much was over the flare-up. I still had a little bit of fullness here and there. Like today, I'm having a bad day. So, of course, I naturally thought of this channel to go to. And this ear was kind of hot and warm, and it just felt funny. And that just, I don't know, didn't help it. I don't know if looking down, maybe at my phone most of the morning, added to it, doing videos and stuff. But I still have, the balance issues. That's part of the disease. We're going to have mornings where we wake up and feel like crap. So, but anyway, I just thought I would tell you those few things. As soon as I start feeling out of sorts, I will take an ibuprofen. And it does seem to alleviate a lot of the symptoms. Obviously, sleep always helps in time. So, at any rate, I'm going to cut this video here because we're 9 minutes in here. And I hope everybody is doing well. This COVID thing's pretty scary. I'm curious how, or if any of you have had it, how long did it last? When I was sick with whatever it was, because it was never diagnosed as that, because it was right before it became a big, huge thing on the scene, I had breathing issues for, I don't know, about a month and a half, and so on. So I will let you know when I do get the antibody test how the results turned out. And until then, I hope everybody is doing well. I know this disease is a BIT, and sometimes we feel down and we feel hopeless. But there's one thing to remember. If you're feeling like crap, I don't care if you're not a reader or anything, go find something uplifting to read. I don't care if you read a Little House on the Prairie book. Anything to get your mind off the disease as much as possible. There was a time that I had a flare-up and I was laying on a bed and I had to face down and look at the floor and all I could do was hold a book. Okay. There are ways with most of us to get around that horrible feeling. It does pass. The main thing to remember is it does pass, just like with anxiety and panic attacks. It passes. You'll be back to normal eventually, so don't let it take you in, because your first thought is it's going to kill me this time. It is not going to kill you this time. Fight that. Fight that thought. You will overcome it. It won't last forever. All right, until next time, take care. Bye now.